to convict white people based on the testimony of black people. Prosecutors know this. And when they're evaluating a case, whether it's a state case or a federal case, and they're trying to determine whether it has what we call prosecutorial merit, whether or not you can prove that case beyond reasonable doubt, one of the things you have to assess is your evidence.
Right.
Your
Evidence is key.
And if your evidence is 3 or 4 witnesses from the local projects who speak bad English, like we saw in Trayvon Martin, the woman who came to testify.
That's a shame.
I don't know if anyone recalls how the media pounced on her because she didn't speak the proper King's English. But to many of the people who were listening, she sounded quiet. Right? Because some of us understand broken. I don't know if you want to call it. I don't like the phonics term, but that genre or that dialect of English that's found in the book, right? And so she got pounced on.
Yes, she did.
Witnesses like that. When it comes to white defendants, they
speak on it.
They won't do it. They will not. At least not in my experience. So I think that has a lot to do with it. When you selectively prosecute black and brown people, then they will disproportionately appear in jail. That's it. Because it's not that black or brown people are more violent than white people. Look at the history of this country. Right? The history of this country tells us that white people have always savaged what they couldn't have. Savaged what they wanted. And if they couldn't get it, they took it.
Seneca Village was an African American and Irish community that was founded in the mid-1820s, and it continued to exist until the park was created in the 1850s. Everybody was evicted from their homes in Seneca Village in 1857.
Which is why very few people know about its existence now in the 21st century.
However, the first African Americans arrived here in the mid-1620s with the Dutch colonists, and African Americans have had a strong presence ever since.
Many people forget that there was slavery here, that much of New York was built with enslaved labor.
We had slavery here in New York until 1827 when emancipation finally was completed.
And in fact, sadly, slavery continued in New York until 1841.
After 1827, when emancipation was completed for New Yorkers, it was still possible if you were a slave owner from out of state to bring your slaves as property into the state until 1841.
New York, because it became the financial center of the United States, had important financial ties to the South and to slavery, and so much of the wealth that came into New York was derived from slave labor. The purchase of land not only bought you a piece of property, one also was purchasing the right to vote.
There was an amendment to the New York State Constitution that said that if you were an African American male, you would be able to vote if you owned $250 or more property, and if you had resided in New York for more than 3 years.
And of course, you had to be male.
And we also think that it was a black middle class community.
We know, for example, that skilled tradesmen worked here. We've identified one of the inhabitants as a cooper, that is, as a man who made barrels. And so the state of New York used its legal power, its powers of eminent domain, to condemn the properties within the boundaries of the park and to evict the residents.
And if black people at any point did manage to pull themselves up by the bootstrap, white people destroyed that too. So it's not that black people are more inclined to commit crimes or anything like that. But this selective policing, right, the proactive policing, coupled with the selective prosecution, directly is responsible for the disproportion that we see in prison.